Yeah, I was at Catholic school down the street from
We used to get into it with
Longfellow.
Longfellow all the time because they thought since we went to Sacred Heart, we were some square bears, not realizing we from the same neighborhoods as y'all. We just went to a different school. Our parents paid a little bit of money for us to go to
Yeah,
school.
I'm
That
about
was
to
the
say
only
that's
difference.
what. Yeah. Mhm.
That's the only
Yeah.
difference.
You know, he was in my mom class at Longfellow. Remember though, my mom used to teach at Longfellow?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, we are live on YouTube. This is the Global Empowerment Team, and we're back at you again with providing you some more wealth, some more information. We have a platform today it's a little different. It's a little unique. I'm gonna say more unique. We want to kind of open up your eyes to some other opportunities here in the Bay Area, as far as entrepreneurship. We know we like to showcase different genres of entrepreneurship, and so today we're going to highlight one of the fields that we kind of touched on previously with one of our previous guests. But before we get to that, let me go ahead and introduce my co-host, my brother, my partner right here, Khalil Macklin. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I appreciate you for asking. Excited always about all of our shows. Just anytime I get a chance to get together with you, and iron sharpens iron, I love it. But certain guests hit home as far as topics or the content or as far as the guests themselves. And today is one of those ones that hit home because of not only the content topic, but mainly the guest. We have Thomas Carter on our show today, and I've known Thomas since I was knee-high to a butterfly's booty. We go way back, like a Cadillac on two flats with the seat all the way back. You know what I mean? Like I've been knowing him since I was 5 years old at Sacred Heart. My first Subway sandwich ever in life was with this man. You know, we used to share a couple noodles.
Dry salami. I said dry salami.
Yeah, dry salami, all of that. Like this is my guy right here. So to be able
Cool Ranch Doritos, the $2 cookies.
See, this back when the first Cool Ranch Doritos was ever made. You know, Cool Ranch. It's just a thing.
Right? Yeah.
I'm talking about the first go round, 1982, when they was testing them out. We had the things, you know. So we got Thomas Carter, longtime friend, one of my oldest friends, one of my best friends on the show, and his business partner, who I don't see Antoine on anymore. So we may need to reach out to him. There you go. But
got him back on.
Yeah, I'm just excited about today, talking about what he's doing, some of his endeavors that he is doing, representing the Bay Area, and just excited. So how you doing, OB?
Man, I'm good, man. You talked about the topic, how I touched home. I was excited, you know, when you told me you had this particular guest coming on, and the endeavors and the connections that he in, because, you know, I mean, I acted full time for quite a while, and so this kind of, I was excited just to even be talking about this again. You know, this is definitely one of my passions. Even though I'm, you know, off to some other endeavors and other business opportunities, but, you know, acting is like one of those things that's just true to your heart. Yeah, man. But I'm doing great, man. Doing great.
Maybe this is a way for us to bridge that gap and that love back into it. But I do know, look, the other day I was going through.
Do I get a headshot or something? Do I need to send my resume somewhere?
Yeah, you have to
send the resume,
play. Yeah. I was going through Benny's page though. Look, I was going through Benny's page the other day, and Benny in there, he got pictures of him with a police officer outfit. And I'm like, damn, I've been knowing Benny for about 3-4 years now. He mentioned nothing to me about being a cop in his ex-life. And I started reanalyzing it. I was like, oh, that was when he was an actor. He was acting as a cop. Okay. I'm pretty sure he would have told me he was a cop in his former life, but he was an actor playing a role as a cop. So, but yeah, we got two guys today between Thomas Carter and Antoine Rollins, who are, like I said, creating great content. And we just want to shed light on what you guys are doing out here locally in the Bay Area, how people can get in contact with you guys and create some content, see their dreams come to fruition through what you guys do, some of the endeavors, projects that you're currently working on, some things that you've put out in the past, and where you guys plan on going moving forward with your entertainment and what you guys are doing. So without further ado, we got Mr. Thomas Carter and Antoine Rollins on the call. How you guys doing today, man?
Doing pretty good.
Doing pretty good. Good.
What's up?
How about yourself?
Man, hanging in there. It's a beautiful Sunday. my ring light just came in. My son on his way to work. My ring light just came in, so I'm nice and lit up, So I'm excited about today's conversation, man. Thank you guys for taking
That's
time
nice.
on this Sunday to be part of the show with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been knowing Antoine pretty much. I'm saying the same time I've been knowing you. I'm saying grew up as childhood friends, went to high school together, and I really started my film journey 2006, whatever I'm saying. I ran into him again on MySpace, whatever, and he was going to film school, whatever, and we hooked up, and we started a production team, and and we've been together ever since. Writing,
Nice.
doing horrors, doing animations, everything.
What film school did you guys go to?
I went to Academy of Art in 2005 through 2007. And I just heard that it's not too good to talk about the Academy of Art because I guess they went through some issues with not really going towards filmmaking. Now they're starting to do sports and stuff. So when I went there, it was straight film school, no history classes.
Mm-hmm.
It was all film.
Right,
so,
right.
What got you into your love of film? I know for us growing up, because we all around a contemporaneous time frame and age, we had great hood classics like Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, you know what I mean? New Jack City, things like New Jersey Drive, some of these movies that kind of just tapped into what it truly was like to grow up on the inner city, but put it in a cinematic way that had never been done before. So for you guys, what is your love for getting into this particular industry, this genre? Where did it come from? Was it from those type of interactions? Like what led you going to the Academy of Arts? What led you and Thomas to getting together and then forming a production company? What kind of exposure did you guys had that led you up to building that out?
Go ahead, Thomas.
My inspirations: John Singleton, Spike Lee, and wherever I couldn't rap, whatever I'm saying. I thought I was supposed to be a NBA basketball star, but like once that didn't happen, whatever, I had to think of what my passion was, and I always wanted to be a writer and I always wanted to do film. It's just that like I didn't know how to do it as far as writing the script, And I just one day I hooked up with another writer, whatever, and I'm saying she was a one who actually got me into the whole writing thing, whatever, and then I just started to learn whatever how to be a writer.
Just you immerse yourself into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Antoine?
Well, I had a prophecy given to me while I was going to church for a long time that I'm gonna get everything I want using my hands. And I just start using my hands, doing a whole lot of stuff. First, I was working construction, and I went back to try to play football. Then when I was at the Alameda College, we had a project that needed to be done, and nobody wouldn't shoot it and nobody wouldn't edit it. So I said, okay, let me get a camera. So I start shooting it. Then the guy who's supposed to edit it, he didn't want to edit it. So I said, let me buy your computer then. Because, I'm trying to fulfill my prophecy using everything with my hands. And when I edited my video for the very first time doing the video, my friends was like, oh, that's good. That's good. And I was like, is this it? Is this the prophecy using my hands? So I said, forget it. I'm about to go to the Academy of Art. I went to the Academy of Art. In my first class, in my editing class, I got an A. And I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm an editor. I knew I was an editor. And I started saying, okay, I'm editing, but I don't have the footage and I really don't know how to shoot. So I said, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to learn how to shoot because I know I'm not gonna be able to pay somebody to shoot for me. So I start shooting and editing. Then I start going back to when I was younger and I was like, I used to write stories, once upon a time stories. So I said, okay, let me start writing. So I tried to do all of that together and I realized, okay, I'm an editor. And then I knew Thomas was writing a lot. So for a couple of years, I kept on trying to hit up Thomas. And one day he hit me back and he said he had a movie called Scraper Boys he wanted to do. And I was like, well, I know I can edit it. So I said, okay, let's shoot it. Then we put it together. And ever since then, me and Thomas just been working together. So that's how I got into it.
Nice.
Off the necessity of getting a project done. And I was like, okay, you're pretty good at what you do. Then a lot of people I was dealing with, directors, like me as an editor too. So I'm an editor number one. And I just happened to be able to, had to tell the stories and shoot, but I'm definitely an editor. That's where me and Thomas come together. Yeah.
Very nice. We've talked about that a couple of times too, on how we don't necessarily understand or know what our passion is until we actually stumble upon it. And that was actually when you were driven. You knew that it was something that was spoken over you, and you knew that it was going to be a niche. However, you tried, like you said, you tried a number of different fields before you actually found your niche. So when you found that niche, what was it, the accolades that you got from your camaraderie, from your people around you? Was that kind of like what solidified this as being your passion, or was it something else inside, internal, that was a shift that you recognize that, okay, this is my passion. This is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life?
The shift came when I realized that a lot of things that bother me, if I write it out and I shoot it, it'll come out better than just me just saying it. And I realized, okay, this is actually an art. You can put stuff out there and not be so direct, but they'll still get what you're saying. So once I realized that this is a way to communicate, I was like, I can really do this because it's a safe form of communication versus going out there doing something physically, going out there doing something that can jeopardize your life, like fighting amongst politics. How do you do it without not protesting, but rioting? But how do you ride through a movie to get people to understand what you're trying to do? So it's a safe way for me to not only affect people, but to get things out how I feel and be able to be a voice for those who can't necessarily do something about it. And creatively, you can do something about it. And I realized how powerful a movie was and commercial was, and talking to my friends, and they think they came up with something, but I was like, I know I just seen that in the movie and the commercial. So I started realizing, okay, this is a real tool of communicating and a real tool to get something across to a worldwide audience through just on film art on the internet. And I was like, okay, I can do this because now I can really show something and hopefully get paid for it, which is kind of hard, but that's when I realized, I said, I can do this. And plus for me, it's easier for me to show it, to say it. And that's when Thomas came in. He can actually say it and I know how to show it. So it was like, oh yeah, we can do this. And
that's what we always talk about, is iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? And that iron can be in multiple forms, multiple ways. It's the same with Benny and I. There are certain things he's far better than me at. You know what I mean? When it comes to certain business aspects of getting, I'm like, hey, B, you tell me how this is supposed to run down. There's certain things I'm good at. I got certain ideas and visions I'm good at, but collaboratively together, that's what forms that global empowerment team. Collaboratively together, that's what you and Thomas then form the production team with. You know what I mean? Being vulnerable enough is what we always talk about. Being vulnerable enough to say to Thomas, hey, you know what? I know how to shoot it and get it out there, but I may not necessarily know how to put it into the word format. And Thomas said, you know what? Well, guess what? I got the words for it. I could put it in that format, but as far as editing it down and making it seamless and going to a certain flow and structure, I'm not the best at that. Well, guess what? Together, our skills combine and we can make something powerful. And that's through conversation. That's through being vulnerable enough. That's through finding your passion. Both you guys mentioned that. Thomas found his passion in writing. You know what I mean? You found your passion going to school in the editing and the film side of it. And that throughout life, as Benny said, you don't go searching for a passion necessarily. You don't go searching for money. You don't go searching for women. Those things happen naturally. Your passions will happen as you stumble across life. You start realizing, oh, I like this. I'm passionate about this. This is my thing. And you're going to rediscover different passions throughout your lifetime. You're going to have to redefine yourself and rediscover yourself within the film industry. As you said, you started out editing, but you had to redefine yourself and say, you know what? maybe I need to shoot it as well. Now you got to redefine yourself and say, you know what? Maybe I need to be in on the writing side as well. And then you're going to redefine yourself again and say, you know what? Maybe I need to be in on the directing side as well, to where now it's just a continued maturation process. But throughout that maturation process, how did you guys maturate into things like the hood dramas, the sci-fis, the animation? Like, it's easy to just, you know what I mean, get stuck in one little place and make that's it. But I know you guys are working on some different projects from the hood dramas like the Scraper Boys and, you know what I mean, the sci-fi event shows and the animation, which I'm really looking forward to talking to soon. But that's, once again, redefining yourself, maturation, recalibrating the GPS. But how did you guys get now into all of those different genres?
Well, first, you always want to write something that like you're familiar with, you know. So, I mean, hood drama was something though that I knew what to write about, you know. So, I started with that, and then I wanted to do a love drama, so I created that. Sci-fi, I'm saying, was like more of like his genre, whatever. It was kind of challenging to me at first, whatever, but I kind of figured it out. A horror, that we did horror too as well, you know. You know, that was kind of like a challenge too, you know. But I learned it, you know, and wrote it, you know.
Like Jordan Peele.
Like what?
Jordan Peele. He got in the
Jordan
from Key and Peele, and now that's all he does is horror stuff. He doesn't do nothing else but horror now.
Yeah.
So how was that for you writing?
We made sure that.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Antoine.
I was saying, then we came down to, we said, okay, we don't have a budget, and we have a minor budget, and we don't want to just take somebody for their money. So let's stay in the safe area. Let's do something. Let's do a 15-minute short. Let's do a 30-minute short. Let's do a 45-minute. Now do a full blown. We know through the hood dramas that we can get a neighborhood, and we know through the sci-fi we can do a lot of green screen. So it's like, how do we combine the hood aspect and the sci-fi and make a blockbuster like a 007? So I think gradually we figuring out how to put it all together to really get a movie done where we're not afraid to ask for millions of dollars, because I don't want nobody off. So until now that I know for a fact through the stuff that we did that I'm not afraid to ask for millions and millions to get a job done. But it took us doing 3 movies, and it took us coming together, and it took Thomas writing about 10 or 15 scripts for us to say, you know what, we can really do this, but we just got to find a producer that's willing to say, okay, well, I'll take a chance with you. Because I know for a fact that we can get it done on any level now. I know we can do an Avatar. I know that for a fact. After we did the sci-fi movie, we did the green screen, we did all the characters, we made the fake world, we did the voiceovers, we did all the explosions. And I'm like, Thomas, we can do something with a big budget. Before we was kind of afraid to ask for millions, but we ain't afraid to ask for it now. We know we can get it done, and we know the fortitude and the pressure that you have to get something. I think that's the key thing about, it's not getting the movie done, it's about being able to deal with all that pressure and that time, and being able to people say, okay, I like this, I don't like this, and I change this and change that, and be able to take it with stride and not be so, don't be upset if somebody don't like it.
Right.
So that's where we at.
One of the 4 agreements of life is don't take things personal. You can't take that stuff personal.
Definitely. And I want you to, because you touched on something too, because you spoke about the art and the passion that drove you to production and editing. You touched on that part, and then you touched on the fact that it's an art and that you could speak through this art platform. But now you just touched on the business aspect, the monetization of that art. So I want you to speak a little bit more, elaborate more on the business aspect of it, like as far as, okay, we have a script now, we have a crew together. So how do we assess the budget? How do we assess payroll? How do we assess distribution? Who are we shopping this movie to? Or are we putting it out strictly to movie some word like Sundance. I lost the word.
What the film
So
festivals?
Sundance, and you said you had one at Slam Dance, film festivals. Yeah. So do we shop it around the film festivals? Do we shop it to bigger production companies to put it in the movie theaters? Like, what does that process look like for you guys?
Well, right now, where we're doing, so we actually like in that process now. So we're gonna go to film festival circuit first, and I'm saying try to get it picked up for major distribution. And our second option is to go straight to the streaming platforms: Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, Tubi, whatever. Yeah, that's the second process.
Mhm.
You know,
So what as far as, okay, so that's after you shot, right? So that's the movies in the can, production's
Yeah.
done, post-production, everything's done. So now you're shopping for distribution. So
Yeah, correct.
as far as those two paths, like how do you distinguish between which ones are going to get you the most ROI, the most return on your investment, the most return, or the money, the biggest money purse that you could possibly sell that movie for?
Well, right now, whatever I'm saying, because of COVID, whatever, I said the independent route as far as with streaming platform, I'm saying to be the biggest, I'm saying money payout, you know, because there's no theatrical distribution right now, I'm saying with the big studios, you know.
Mhm.
So it'd be best just to take it straight to Netflix or Hulu or HBO Max or something like that, you know, and put it there.
Yeah, especially the Hulu and Amazon Prime platform. I watched the last 2 or 3 weeks some stuff on Amazon Prime based in like Detroit or something like that. That you can tell they shot with some, obviously not the highest whatever type of cameras. And they got actors from their friends, neighborhood, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it was clever. It was done cleverly enough to keep me watching all 6 of their episodes. You know what I mean? It was done in a way that it was like, I'm gonna support this. It's not the big blockbuster budget series where you're gonna have Russell Crowe or any of that, but it was a good series. The writing was done good. Those actors, they got some good actors, some hood talent, you know what I mean? They told a story that you could identify with, whether you grew up in Hunters Point, Oakland, Detroit, Dallas, New York, Atlanta, doesn't matter. And you're right, the stuff is possible to get on those type of platforms because they're looking. Netflix is pretty much shooting their own content. But you shopping that stuff around in the Prime and the Hulu, who are trying to still compete with the Netflix, and you still have a lot of access and getting eyes on your shows through those platforms. I 100% agree.
Yeah, right now, original content is up. Go ahead, Twan.
I was saying we have two different ways of going about it. When it comes down to the sci-fi, we think more about merchandise, how to turn characters into toys, how to turn it into shirts, how to turn it into clothing, and so that's what we usually go with the sci-fi aspect, because we go and say, okay, we can send this to Netflix or Hulu, and that's cool, but what's the longevity in the project? You know, how can we use this as a platform to keep on doing 1, 2, and 3, and 4? And that's when we come from on the sci-fi side and the cartoon side, the animation, like Curry Adventures 1, 2, and 3. And we'll be able to sell merchandise with that. Going towards more on the Disney side and the Nickelodeon, where we're trying to create the sci-fi to create merchandise so we can franchise it and so we can continue to sell toys to the kids. Besides just making money off the movie, how do we make it off the merchandise, the Star Wars and the Avatars and
the George Lucas, the George Lucas format.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's that's how we decide which one we're gonna push the hardest. So and when it comes down to what distribution, it's like we know we can get it out there. We know we can get on those platforms, but like I said, how is this going to be able to where everybody can take a part of it and make money, not just us? And that's how we really decide which project we're going to do first. Because after we did Victim 505 and we did Scraper Boys. Then this last one we did is called The Last Empress of Subastia. Thomas is like, you know what? We should just write these cartoons and write these stories for it can be forever. There's not really an age limit on it. And we can get something that's safe to go in the home and it's not going to be a lot of backlash. So we try to do stuff that's kid friendly, family friendly, and more than that, something that's very entertaining. So the most entertaining one that we have is what we go with first.
Very nice. So it sounds like you guys already have some things in the works right now. So you talked about three different movies. What was it, the last one you had mentioned?
The Last Emperor of Subastia.
Subastia. That's a cool title.
I like that name. I like that name.
Right. So is that one of the animations, or is that Sapphire? Oh, that's okay. So where can your audience, where can people look at and see some of your stuff right now?
YouTube. The Last Emperor of Subastia is on YouTube, but it's on private since we entering them into Sundance film festivals.
Oh, okay.
We entered to Sundance, it didn't get it. Slamdance didn't get it. I have a private link on YouTube, and right now me and Thomas are deciding, should we go straight to Netflix or should we continue to put it inside of film festivals, which sometimes they don't do nothing, but you kind of get an accolade. Okay, you won this, or you submit, or yeah, we like this, and best actor or best editing. But we trying to go big now through straight distribution to get the toys in the kids' hands, so we get something they can touch and something they can hold.
Do you think that's the better route? Because I've obviously with my background in production and acting, I've seen where certain movies will get oversaturated from the different film festivals, and then when they turn around and try to get distribution, the big companies they figure that you probably don't have an audience no more because everybody's already seen it. Like, so what's your take on that? On actually going the route of sending it out to film festivals versus going straight to distribution?
The last one we did like 15, 20 different film festivals. We won one making movies throughout the Bay Area film festival, which was small. And I was like exactly what you said. We put it out there and we get a little buzz. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get something big after that. So to answer your question, I think it's best to just put it in the top film festivals. And if you don't get picked up, try to get distribution through Amazon or try to go to Netflix and go straight there. Because I'm not going to continue to put it in film festivals and oversaturate it, like you saying, and just get some accolades, don't get nothing out of it. So now we're just going to put it in the top film festival, 3 or 4. If you don't make it, we'll just go somewhere else and try to go distribution through a private person, or either get something where they want to expand on the project. Because right now, the last film we did is 45 minutes long, and we want to be able to make it, like you said, into a Star Wars and a George Lucas, same person, a Star Wars or an Avatar, and we want to get into somebody's hand and say, okay, let's make this bigger than what it is. So that's our main objective on this sci-fi movie.
But you're still talking about ownership.
Answer your question,
talking
sir?
about
Yes, it did.
You're talking about distribution though, which is what I love, because you still own the content at that point. We had Sean Granberry on before, and we were talking about that is still owning the content, just signing distribution deals. It's similar to things like Master P and Birdman, things that they did. They signed these big, huge contracts for distribution deals to where they still kept controlling content. They still kept the majority of the ownership. They still kept masters, things of that nature. So this is a lesson anybody out there. If you're putting content out there, you still want to control your content. You want to look for the right distribution deals, the right distribution avenues to still allow yourself to control your content, to monetize it, which is why, honestly enough, as many people as we want to be in front of, what we realized is we would get 5,000, 500, 10,000 views on a show through Facebook. But there was no real way for Benny and I to truly extrapolate the impact that we're having to possibly monetize it, to really build out our brand. And for us to empower others, we need to also empower ourselves. We need to empower our own brand. We need to empower our own business. So we realized we needed to shift gears like you were talking about, recalibrate. Now we're on YouTube so that we can truly build that platform out from YouTube on over now to the Instagram and to the Facebook, but you primarily look for us through a certain channel. So I get it. And I love the entrepreneurial mindset that you both have when it comes to this, because this is your business. This is your baby. When you start putting your ideas out there, we had a guy on recently, who was it? And they were talking about having the baby. Was it Lee? I think it was Lee.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and having the baby and not seeing you after you have the baby, you want to see the maturation process through. You know what I mean? And that's what this is for you guys. When you put your heart and soul into a script and you edit it and you're writing things and you put in the animation and you seeing your thoughts come to fruition, that's your baby. And you don't make it, like you said, just to put in a bunch of film festivals and not see that baby maturate and truly get to the level that you want to see it get to. You want to fester that thing the right way, raise it, nurture it the right way, and see that baby get fed to a level that you want to get to. And these are some of the steps from what I'm hearing you guys say that you need to take to get to that. So from what I'm getting, we got the Scraper Boys, which is kind of like a hood drama. Victim 505, what genre does that fall under?
That's horror.
That's the horror genre. And then we
give us a snippet. Give us a trailer. What's it about?
It's about a guy who every once a year he celebrates the anniversary of his parents dying by killing all the victims that comes to his home.
Oh,
and that's what he do.
That's what,
okay.
That's what he do. Right?
What happened was, as a kid, he witnessed his parents go through a divorce, and he witnessed his mother having an affair, and from the affair, his father was killed. And the thing is, since he was so young, he couldn't do nothing about it. But now that he's older, he can do something about it. And the way he celebrated his first victim was actually killing the man who his mother had an affair with. So after that, it ended up being 505 victims that he kept on seeking revenge of what happened to his mother, happened to his father and his mother during the time she cheated on his father. So it was based on a true story. It happened to me as a kid, and I wanted to do a lot of stuff about it, but I couldn't. So I played it out in a movie called Victim 505.
Okay.
So that's how.
Wow. I really got to see it now. Now that you put it to the fact that it's about a real, I gravitate towards movies that are based on real life drama, real stories. I like the fiction, the fiction aspect of it because it's creative, and being able to elaborate just from one idea into a big movie. But when it's based on a true story and kind of highlighted around that, man, I'm like all ears. Yeah, so I definitely want to check that out.
I love that. All right, so then the sci-fi thing was what now?
Oh, the one we just did, the last TLE,
TLE.
That movie is about what's going on right now, about a virus spreading, everybody evacuating, presidents not wanting to step down, and the force on top saying you got to leave, and the president saying I don't want to leave, so they start a war. And after they get him out, his allies try to start a war, and they lose. Then it comes down to it. The queen actually takes sides of the person who's still trying to keep their sovereignty. So she gives them a fight against the new regime that came in. So that one's based on true stories too. What you see on headlines on what's happening in China, what's happening in Iran, what's happening in the U.S., what's happening in Ethiopia, and that one's based on headlines too. But I put it in a way where it's safe to tell the story. So a lot of my movies is based on what's out there, and I just turn into something else.
Okay.
without
like
getting
that.
flagged or being somebody that's going to anti-America. So that's my best way to go about doing that.
I
Right.
like that. And then
That's
this
dope. That's dope.
last thing really quickly. You guys are working on, and you can elaborate more, Thomas, the animated series. Can you elaborate more on the animated series you guys are working with? I know recently you posted on your social media platforms some of the sketches, you guys in the think tank, coming up with some different ideas on how to roll this thing out. So what's going on with the animated series? Can you give us some details on who's involved, what it's about, stuff like that?
Okay, well, initially it was supposed to be a Jason Kidd project, whatever, but of course he's doing his coaching thing with the Lakers, whatever. Sean Cranberry's business partner is Mr. Fab, so we converted over to make it a Dope Era project, which is basically Fab will be like a life skills middle school teacher, and he has 5 different, I said, middle-aged kids, Black, Mexican, Asian, white. And each episode is about 15 minutes long, and it's basically giving different saying life skill stories, like say no to drugs, like no cheating, no cyberbullying, no harm to animals, just different life situations, lessons and stuff for the kids. And in each episode, whatever, like we'll have a different Bay Area celebrity making a guest appearance, like voiceover, rather. You know, so you'll have like a Damian Lillard or a Marshawn Lynch or say MC Hammer, Mark Curry, Linnell, just different Oakland voices. So making guest appearances.
Very nice.
Yes, because it's gonna be super Bay Area, but he it's gonna be super Bay. Anybody from the Bay gonna be like, wow, you gotta be joking me. He got all of these people, but he's gonna tie it. I'm sorry.
We got the Soul Beast, we got Eastmont Mall in there, I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, because of course there's an animation called whatever. So I got saying the scene with Eastmont Mall still going. I got
sideshows at the Eastmont Mall.
No, I'm saying, I said, yeah, not really the sideshows, whatever I'm saying. Cause
that's how I remember. That's how I remember the Eastmont Mall.
I said, yeah, but I got Soul Beat in there, and I pretty much had like everything that's going on, like the Bay Area, I'm saying, except for the COVID, whatever I'm saying, whatever. You know, I didn't want to have.
Nice.
You have a character after my liking in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got you in there, whatever. Yeah, and so it's gonna be a 12.
Eating the Subway sandwich.
I say yes to 12. I say yes to 12 series season, whatever. And
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be animated. It's gonna be Bay. It's gonna be fun, and it's going to teach at the same time, like you said, about some of this anti-bullying, some of these different things, to where I'm really looking forward to that. Not only that, it shows both of you guys range. As far it's like going to a concert. Look, the best concert I ever went to. It's 2 concerts I've gone to that have been hands down the best. Stevie Wonder, but then Jamie Foxx. Stevie Wonder, obviously, Stevie Wonder is the man, right? We all know that. But when I went to the Jamie Foxx concert, it was New Year's, the year Ray had come out. And Jamie Foxx started the concert, and he started the concert doing comedy. He did comedy for about 45 minutes. Cracked me up. He went back in the back, changed his clothes. He came out, and he did his Jamie Foxx CD that he had just done. Remember that CD is unpredictable. That CD was slapping, right? So he did an hour worth of Jamie Foxx. You thought it was over. He'd go in and he'd come back around midnight. He comes out as Ray Charles. And he did a whole nother 30, 40 minutes of Ray Charles. And he hit you with his full range of talent, from his comedy to his singing to his piano to his acting, because now he's acting as Ray Charles. And when I hear what you guys are working on, it takes me back to that mindset of you guys are really showing how deep you guys are and how talented you guys are with having animation geared around kids. You got some animation in which you cleverly throw in today's topics into a sci-fi type of with The Last Emperor. You got hood classics that we can all identify with. You got the horror going on, which we all grew up with, Friday the 13th and Jason and Freddy and all of that, Nightmare on Elm Street. And it really, for me, highlights and showcases the depth at which your two brains are working at, the growth mindset you guys have. And I'm looking forward, honestly, to the projects you guys are going to be working on coming up in the future, man, because it's some good stuff coming out this camp. But what I want to know is this, because we are approaching the hour in a moment. Where can people reach you guys at? Where can we find some of this content? I know, speaking of content, Thomas's name on Instagram is Content Creator, and he spells it a cool, clever way. So I'm going to have Thomas give us your Instagram, give us your Facebook, give us the name of your production company, whatever it is you want to get out there. Same with you, Antoine. Let us know where we can find some of these films at, what film festivals we can go look at to see some upcoming projects, and where we can follow you guys at for you guys to fill us in on any upcoming projects and endeavors that you guys have going on, because we want to make sure we give you our full support out here in the Bay.
Yeah, right now I can be reached at my Instagram is Content Creator, which is CON 10 KER 8 TA.
Content Creator.
Yeah.
And then on Facebook, what, Thomas Carter, right?
Yeah, Thomas Carter. Yeah.
All right.
And so I should have some more info as far as the film festivals and different links for you in the next a couple months.
Okay.
But I also got about 6 or 7 different scripts that's already ready, whatever I'm saying. That was supposed to had been pitching before the COVID broke out. So they'll be ready. So once the COVID thing is over.
Okay.
We got horrors, we got animations, we got hood dramas, we got we also have another cartoon called Base Dogs. That's a pretty good animal cartoon.
Okay.
Is that one out now?
Not yet. The script is ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the Jimmy Rollins story about what it was to be a black man playing in a white person's sport, and how once you go out, you see it's totally different. And it's about when we came up and in 92, 93, everybody stopped playing baseball and started selling dope, but how one person stayed focused. And he's a black cat. That's the whole thing. It's a black cat playing with the dogs. And it's like the things he had to do to get there and believe in himself, even though people were saying, "You black? You playing baseball? What you black people don't play baseball. We play basketball, we play football, but the cat says it. We don't play baseball. We like stuff, drill and stuff." So it's about a black cat that's playing against the dogs and what he had to go through to get there. A whole lot of the dogs looking at him, talking about, "You're a dog. What you're doing here? We don't like dogs." Baseball is 2% black, so it's about him making it and what it took for him to go through there. And we have another one called Menopause. And like I said, the way Thomas writes, I'll have an idea and I'm like, "How did you do that?" And we're like, "Oh, I just get into it." And then
it's like
we
Sex in the City meets the Golden Girls. It's like a very
Menopause,
diverse. Yeah. It's called Menopause. I'm saying that's a real movie. It's like when Golden Girls meets Thelma and Louise / Sex in the City.
Okay.
Hey, I love it. And I really love the Jimmy Rollins one though, because the metaphor with the animals, what you do is, what I like what you disarm people. I'm gonna disarm you by including some cute cats and dogs, but we're gonna talk about a real subject. You know what I mean? I'm gonna disarm you by talking about The Last Empress and giving it to you in an animated form, but we're gonna talk about real topics. And I like that because the like you said, Thomas started chopping it up because cats dribble, yarn and balls and stuff, right? They like playing with that stuff. So you like, nah, man, you a cat. Y'all usually do this. And he like, yeah, but I want to come out here and I want to do this. And that's very a clever analogy on, once again, simplifying what otherwise could be a very touchy and difficult subject to navigate around. You disarm people and you do it in a very clever way. And I'm looking forward to that, man. That's one right there. I want to watch with my kids right there.
Yeah, I think 2021 looks pretty bright for us. You know, COVID is starting to clear up for people, and the industry is starting to open back up. And I have a bunch of different projects that are being looked at. Whatever. It was just that the COVID kind of slowed everything up, you know. But now it's starting to open up, and people are starting to call and saying, are looking for work, you know. Nice. And it's always good to have original content, you know, because that's what's king right now. Original content, especially if I'm saying what you guys are doing too, whatever it's original content, you know.
Yeah. Eventually we may have to tap in with you guys for a little bit of direction as far as this original content, you know what I mean, and making it more cinematic or whatever the case is, taking it to a whole nother level. But that's another conversation. Antoine, I want to give you a chance. Where can we meet? Where can we find you at on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever the links are, things of that nature, because we want to make sure people are able to find you guys. Go to your page right now as you watching. Go to Content Creators Instagram, thumb it up, like it, heart it, follow them. Go to Thomas Carter's Facebook page, thumb it up, heart it, follow him, all the stuff. Same with Antoine. But Antoine, where can we follow you at, man?
Mine is Subastia Studios, SUWBASTIA_studios. That's on Instagram, and Facebook is Antoine Rollins, and on YouTube is Subastia Studios. Right now on YouTube, all I have is Victim 505, the one that's without the audio, just the director's cut. Then The Last Emperor of Subastia is on private, and that's actually on subastia2020@gmail.com on YouTube. So that's where I can be found. And me and Thomas, we can chop it up, put it together. Hello?
Yeah, we're here. Yeah.
Okay, mine's messed up. We can chop it up, put it together. And if you guys have an idea, I know for a fact that it'll get done, and we know how to put it together. And it's gonna get done. It's gonna be high quality. It's just, and now I got a whole squad behind me. So it feels good to be able to say, I know, and we know you're not gonna be dissatisfied with our product. All you gotta do is just sign that dotted line, come up with some ideas, and it will get done, and it'll get done nicely. So
very nice.
That's
very nice.
Where we at. And were you guys talking about Lee Cummings when you said Lee? Was it Lee Cummings when you said you guys?
No, Lee
Richard,
Curry. Lee Curry, right?
You're talking about who gave the baby analogy?
Okay, yeah. Was it Lee or was it Chauncey?
No, that wasn't Lee. That was Richard. That was
Jonathan Richardson.
Jonathan Richardson.
Richardson gave the baby analogy. That's who it was.
Yeah. I definitely want to, thank you guys for making the time. I mean, you guys definitely gave us a lot of insight on the industry, production. I'm excited to see some of your product, your projects, as well as I'm sure our audience is. We can't wait to check those out. And man, like you said, 2021 is set to be huge. We are seeing the movie industry starting to doing some movement. So we wish y'all the best of luck. And we will definitely be back at you because, like I said, Khalil and I, we got some ideas and maybe you guys could help us get on another level with that. But we got your Facebook pages, we got your Instagram pages. So people, if you're thinking about getting into the industry, if you have some ideas about production, if you need something to get shot, reach out to these gentlemen. They're accessible. They're here in the Bay Area. Like Antoine said, he's more than confident and absolutely sure that he could put something together for you guys that you will absolutely love. So reach out to them. We want to, again, thank you all for chiming in. Make sure you go to our YouTube page, our Facebook page, our Instagram page, hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave comments, let us know what you'd like to hear about, what you would like to learn about, who you'd like to see on our show. Let us know how we're doing. Give us some feedback. We definitely appreciate that, and we talk about it and we learn from it. So yeah, definitely leave a comment. We want to thank you all for stopping by and taking the time out of your day. Khalil, I'll let you close it out.
Man, all I want to say is I appreciate you brothers for taking your Sunday seriously. But anybody who watches these shows and you not leaving here motivated, you not paying attention. I got two brothers on here right now too. Check your post, man. I got two brothers on here talking about creating a vision and the process that it takes to put thought to pad and then pad to now the cinematic version for us to enjoy. That's a process. That's a process right there. And to know that I got people on the show that we have access to as a resource to help us with that level of content and that level of acumen, that level of being knowledgeable enough and thoughtful enough to give it to us in a way and in a manner that we can digest it in. Like, I'm happy to know I got you guys in my corner. You are accessible, like Benny said, for people to come and reach out to you guys. But this is a motivating story. We got people out here. We got the next Avatar, the next, you know what I mean? The next X-Men, the next Marvel coming from these two brothers right here. I'm telling you right now, it's just the tip of the iceberg. If you ever seen an iceberg, you go underneath that iceberg, it's massive. What you see above the water is just, that's just the surface right there. It's massive. And to know that we are at the tip of what is the massive iceberg that you two brothers are, I'm excited about that, to say I'm part of bringing something to that level of excitement to our network. So thank you guys for being here, man. Reach out to these brothers. If you got some ideas, like Benny said, bring the light, reach out to them. They're here for you. And thank you guys for coming on, man. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you, man.
Everybody.
Thank you. All right.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
All
right.
You too.